Ever wonder why things happen? Why do we go through challenges? Why do we go through pain and sometimes suffering? We may have all of these questions, and they're certainly valid. Yes, there's a rhyme and reason for everything, and sometimes we are given the answer in our lifetimes. My name is Leah Abramov, certified life coach and educator. Thank you for being part of Being and Becoming, celebrating you as you become so much more through the priceless wisdom of the Holy Torah. Stay tuned for more. The reasons why certain things happen to us may shock us. Why do certain things happen to us? Why do we go through certain challenges, maybe tribulations, maybe suffering and pain? I hope to share with you some insights that are going to hopefully give us more enlightenment and clarity in this idea. It says in Shemot 39:33, and they brought the Mishkan to Moshe, the tent and all its vessels. So according to this midrash, the boards of the Mishkan were so incredibly heavy that the people could not hold them up erect, standing straight, right, next to each other long enough for them to assemble the Mishkan. They kept toppling over, kept falling down, and in anger and frustration, the people brought all of the boards and posed to Moshe Rabbeinu. And he assembled it with miraculous strength that Hashem granted him, especially for this task and purpose. However, the Torah states that the Jewish people brought the Mishkan to Moshe. This would seem to imply that they brought him a completely assembled Mishkan, that they really did the task and not Moshe Rabbeinu, because as it says, they brought the Mishkan to Moshe. So this seems a little bit puzzling. Regarding the same verse, the Midrash quotes from Mishlei 31:25, might and splendor are her garments, and she will rejoice on the final day. The Midrash goes on to illustrate the idea that with a story concerning Rabbi Abahu's departure from this world. So he's leaving from this world, and he's saying something very interesting. He's saying on the threshold, he was shown all the reward that awaited him, right? And that awaited him in the world to come. And he remarked with shock, with surprise and astonishment, all of this for Abahu? I thought I had been toiling in vain, and now I see I have a great portion in the world to come. We do not live in a world of results. You don't make things happen. All you have to do is try, and Hashem makes things happen. For example, you go to school, and 10 years down, you hope to become a doctor. Simply for working hard, you will be able to participate being a doctor according to Hashem. However, we live in this world where you need a doctorate degree, you need a profession, you need to be able to get a job. But according to Hashem, the way He runs the upper world, the spiritual world, is as long as you try, you are granted reward and you're granted success as though you actually became a doctor, right? It is hard for us to see that since we live in a world that thinks that we make things happen by working hard or not. And we know that through experience, maybe through stories, people we know, that people certainly don't make things happen. Sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time. Or sometimes maybe you know of someone who may be, able to help you in the field or the profession. So it has nothing to do with hard work, and it has nothing to do, meaning it doesn't mean that you will work hard and for sure you'll be granted this success. All you have to do in Hashem's teachings, all you have to do is work hard, do your best. Hashem will take care of the rest. And sometimes we're just at the right place at the right time, and just everything just follows the script, right? The script that we created for ourselves. So really Hashem makes things happen. And this is a lesson for all of us. So we are building our homes. Maybe our children are not the way we expected them to be. As parents, we always hope our children turn out exactly the way we wish them to be. Start walking and talking at the right time, making friends, developing properly. and hopefully following all the steps into becoming a young individual adult. Maybe we're not living the American dream's definition of success. Maybe she still hasn't forgiven you, even though you have tried many times to ask for forgiveness. Your genuine intention and effort is important and taken seriously. All you have to do is try sincerely, and you get the credit as though you made it happen. In Shemot 42, it says, on the first day of the first month, you shall erect the Mishkan. The construction of the Mishkan began right after Moshe came down from the mountain for the second time. 6 months later, on Rosh Chodesh Nisan, it was finally erected. So it was finally able to stand straight up, rigidly upright. According to the Midrash, the entire labor of construction was completely miraculously done in 3 months. But Hashem did not want it erected until Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the month when Yitzchak was born. So if Hashem did not want the Mishkan erected until Nisan, why did he create a miracle to have the work completed within 3 months? Why couldn't he just have nature take its course? And the reason for that is because it's unnatural. Hashem is unnatural. He can make things happen. He could hurry up the process. When you think that you didn't get that deal on the house, you'll get it without, the traditional steps of maybe going through the realtor, going on Zillow, let's say. You'll be able to get it from word of mouth through. Hashem has tons of ways to give you exactly what you need and want. According to the Midrash, the entire labor of construction was completely miraculous. If Hashem did not want the Mishkan erected until Nisan, why did he work a miracle to have the work completed within 3 months? Why didn't he just allow the work to proceed normally so that it would be finished by Nisan? If that too would have required a miracle, then so be it. But why have a miracle, make a miracle that leads to a completion of the project 3 months early? The Ber Yosef explains that the waiting period was necessary for the Mishkan to fulfill its purpose. Our sages teach us and tell us that the Mishkan was an atonement for the sin of the golden calf. What were some of the failings that led to the construction of the golden calf? One of the failings was impatience, not waiting for Moshe patiently. They did not ask Aaron what to do. They did not consult with elders. They did not contemplate what Hashem was wanting them to do, what messages he was saying. Instead, they plunged right ahead impatiently and impulsively and caused tremendous damage for the Jewish people for all the future generations. This was the sin for which the Mishkan was an atonement. So because they had to wait 3 months, 3 extra months, it was an atonement because they were not patient when they created the golden calf instead of waiting for Moshe Rabbeinu. Therefore, Hashem wanted to teach the Jewish people the virtue of patience. Don't be in such a rush. There's a time to do everything, and Hashem is the one who determines that time. The servant does not call the shots. The master does. Sometimes we think we're so smart and we can call the shots. We make things happen. We really don't. Hashem makes things happen exactly at the right time. And if we let Hashem come into the picture, into our lives, we will see him in our lives. We will see how he is guiding us and guiding us every step of the way. This was the lesson they had to learn right away in order for the Mishkan to be an effective atonement for the sin of the golden calf. So we can transmit this teaching into our own lives. The therapy that my child helps, the therapist that my child receives will help him at the right time, even though I may not get the perfect therapist or most qualified to work with my child. Even though it would be wonderful to renovate or buy a new home or declutter before Pesach, I will do my best and Pesach will not be canceled. Things will happen at the right time, exactly when Hashem wills it. Mida keneged mida. If I do something, I will get rewarded or punished in similar ways. In this case, impatience made the Jewish nation wait, right? We had to wait because we had to atone for being impatient. So mida keneged mida. This is how the way the world runs. We don't live in a vacuum. Our actions will affect the future. Some mothers parent their kids in ways they regret. Their hope is that their children will not mimic them when they become parents. As young adults get married and have children, and they swear to themselves that they'll never become like their parents. The truth of the matter is, like it or not, we do mimic our parents most often. Most of the time we do. And the most important part is to accept it and do the best that we can, and to change our ways. After 120 years, Hashem is going to ask us, "Nu, how did you change? Who did you become?" You can't say, I'm just like my mother, or I'm just like my father. You can't do that, because Hashem is going to say, "Yes, I gave you these challenges, but what did you do to overcome them? What steps did you take? Did you try? Did you seek help? Did you read books? Did you go to lectures? Did you get a therapist?" There's nothing wrong with getting a therapist. People who don't seek help are the ones who really need help. Because if you seek help in any way, it means you're trying, it means you want, and you want that help, right? If a teacher sees that her student is, inquisitive, asking a lot of questions, asking for a homework phone number to call in order to get homework help. If the teacher sees that the child is sincerely trying, they will get the higher mark, versus a student who's careless, who always gets high grades. In that teacher's eyes, that child is so much more beloved. Why? Because the child is working hard. He is or she is exerting so much effort. Hashem wants to see that we exert that kind of effort, that we care and that we try. So most of the time this isn't so. Yes, it is true that sometimes the nature of a situation deviates from what is expected. For example, God forbid, let's say there's a mother who's addicted to alcohol and she has a number of children. So one of the children can be, God forbid, an alcoholic. The other one says, "I'll never drink alcohol." And another one says, "I'll open up learning centers about, drugs and alcohol to bring up awareness in the world." So where did the mother go right and wrong? How about the child who will never drink alcohol, right? Does that mean she did something right? No, it doesn't mean that. Sometimes it does. You will have a child or two who's righteous, who does the right thing, who refuses to be like their parents, and who's successful. Hashem gives them that gift. But that doesn't mean it's a guarantee, right? It doesn't mean it's a guarantee. I've heard parents also say, I never bring my kids to yeshiva, to religious schools. I never did. And look how they became. That's because Hashem wanted them to. Maybe a grandmother davened and it skipped generations and it came to your child. It's not because you did everything right and your children went to public school and here you go, you have righteous children. Hashem decided to influence these kids in different ways, and it's a gift if your children became religious and you have not. It's an amazing gift because it does affect the parents. The parents do merit that because it's their children, right? So let's not think A plus B equals C, right? It's a big mistake. If Hashem gives us a certain gift, it is really a gift. It's a free gift that we should not take for granted. Our actions affect future generations, if not our children, then our grandchildren and beyond. So to wrap it up, a shocking reason why things happen may surprise us. Sometimes it is unknown to us, and it is a gift. If we are aware why Hashem does things to us and why things happen, it is a gift. Hashem does not owe us any explanations. Things happen exactly at the right time, sometimes as an atonement to us, but ultimately it is for our ultimate benefit. All I have to do is try my best. Hashem is the only one who makes things happen. A practical tip I will leave you is, my experiences are ultimately for my benefit. Hashem, give me the strength for trying to make decisions. You want me to do so simply by trying. So the whole goal is to try, to not give up. My experiences are ultimately for my benefit. Hashem, give me the strength for trying to make the decisions. You want me to simply try. Appreciating the insights of Rabbi Frand on the Parsha. It's a bull book. Hope these ideas were helpful. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming. awakening awareness of your greatness and potential.